Good evening once again, everyone. I would like to start by talking briefly about what Duchess Africa is all about, where we started from, and where we are at the moment. So, today's theme is Duchess Africa Global Connect, empowering women through collaboration. And we thought it would be nice for us to have this monthly virtual event, just to talk more about what we do and to actually reintroduce ourselves every time. The feedback has been, we don't really know, we know you, but we need to hear more from you. And that's why we decided to start there. So hopefully from this feedback, we know what the next step would be. So why are we here today? Yeah, Duchess Africa, we're here today because we created a platform where African women can connect, collaborate, support one another. We're trying to build a global sisterhood where we could impact ourselves and share a common vision. So one of the aim of being here today also is to inspire ourselves to take space, lead boldly, and make a difference. And the key point for me personally is to foster mentorship and intergenerational learning among African women. And I could talk a little bit about that and talk about how I met Lisa herself, who is meant to facilitate this event. I met her in Kenya. And when we were having that event, I remember her, if she doesn't mind me saying, we had some rural women that joined us at that event, and she was wondering why older women will be joining our event, that they don't understand it. And we're like, no, they do understand it. They understand it. The narrative you understand, and the one they don't understand is different. But when we all come together on our platform, we actually share our experiences and learn from one another, which that was how I met Lisa. And since then, we've always been talking. So how do we start the Duchess International Magazine? I started Duchess International Magazine in 2015. However, it was more like a publication, print publication, and a virtual publication. Really, it was at a time where social media was really coming up, and print was really going down. So we had to go actually concentrate online. However, I started to tell a story that I had at that moment. I didn't want to take so much space. So I thought I'm not going to talk too much about that story. I'll leave it to another day. But I was actually trying to look for an African woman that has a story that is similar to what I was going through at that moment. And that was 2015. And I was going online looking for African women, but I couldn't get story that really matches all that's very close to what I was going through. And I decided that, okay, if I can't find one, maybe I could start one. So that was how I started Duchess. But a few years ago, I realized that, okay, how can I take this to the next level? We have this movement now. People know the brand, but where are we going? So I decided that, okay, let's start going to African countries. I'm an African woman. I'm based in the UK. And sometimes when I sit down next to my Ghanaian sister or Zimbabwe sister, and we have maybe a white person pass by, all they see is all those black women. Is only us that see, oh no, I'm Nigerian. No, I'm African, I'm Ghanaian. So I just got to a point with few of my sisters, and we're like, we're all African at the end of the day, and it's nice for us to go home. So why don't we find a platform where will take us home? Home, not only Nigeria, home can be Kenya, home can be Senegal, home can be anywhere. But how do we explore that opportunity? So I decided that, okay, that's fine. Why don't we start going home to celebrate International Women's Day? So we decided that, okay, where is the first place that you want us to go? We did our research. We realized, well, I'm going to get to that point. Let me just move on before I start. So yeah, so this is where it began. We did our research and we realized that at that point, Rwanda had the highest rate of women in leadership. So myself and about 67 women then from different parts of the world, we went to Rwanda. We were lucky, we met with women in leadership in Rwanda from from different offices. They attended our event. We sat down, we talked about Rwanda as a whole, we talked about why it works for them as women. We talked about we were able to gain share knowledge, share experiences, and we're able to build that relationship. And some of those women are actually on this platform today. So that was how we started. On the last day when I was leaving, I had few of I called them my sisters. We all sat down. They were like, "No, Bola, you can't just go like that, Duchess. We have to have something like a movement that will always bring us back." And I'm like, "Oh, what would that be?" So we all sat down. We started talking. Everybody called it different names, different names, different names. Eventually, we came up with Duchess Africa Empowerment Foundation. We wanted to actually register it in Rwanda because I was in Nigeria, it was a little bit difficult. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We took it to Nigeria and it was registered there. So from the experience we had in Rwanda, we went to Kenya. Kenya, as you can see on our platform, I have my two beautiful sisters, my big sister and my little sister from Kenya. I have a lot of relatives, I always say, in Kenya. We had fantastic events. It was from Kenya that we started tree planting. We went to Bomas, they gave us a bit of land there. We planted trees. I didn't even know Chief Elizabeth was going to join today, but I used her picture here while she was planting the trees. We really enjoyed it. We have a place in Kenya where is called Dutch is a little place in that boma of Kenya where it's called Duchess. And my plan is to always go to Kenya to check the place. So that's where we started tree planting from. Then we move on to Senegal. We were in Senegal last year, and yeah, we when we got to Senegal, there was a little bit of a language barrier, and those were things that um few things. The main reason why we have to sometimes move from one country to another as an African is for you to get that experience, that education. When I went to Rwanda was visa free, and it was easy access for me as an African than being a British. So when we got to the airport, I have a friend of mine that was holding his British passport, like, and I was holding my Nigerian passport, and they told him that, okay, you're gonna pay, is it $60 or something to come in, while I just walked in. I like the pride that, and then she was like, no, 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 I'm not British, I'm a Nigerian. Then, but I is Nigerian passport. So it was something I learned there, from Rwanda. Then when we went to Kenya, we have to get visas. So there was that border bridge, and I'll start thinking about trade. How is it easy for me being in Nigeria? And if I want to trade in Kenya, how does that work? I started thinking and learning about it, and especially through the Kenya event, we had a lot of women that eventually started doing business together. In fact, there were. I remember I had few people that came from South Korea to Kenya as well, and I have a lady that came from Nigeria, and she has this vision of selling products to people outside Nigeria. And that was how she started. I think last year she launched a company in Nigeria, and I was so excited. And it was only from that event that she came to in Kenya. So we went to Senegal. Yes, there was a lot of language barrier, but we were able to also meet women from leadership position, and their government gave us some places to plant the trees. So we were able to collaborate and do tree planting with them. We did our main conference with them, and we did our award night as well. It was really nice. And yes, and why this collaboration matters and why we need to sometimes explore and come out of our comfort zone into other places and learn culture and learn what others are doing, and is because as an African woman, there's no competition. There's no point. We're all women and we're mothers. And Duchess Africa, the aim and the main focus is not only about supporting girl child, it's about supporting boys and girls. Because as Duchess, you can be a wife, you can be big sister and aunt, you can be, and if you look at me, I have three boys. So if I have to support only girls, what happened to my boys? We'll support our boys too. So what we do as mothers, as sisters, as big sisters, as female in general, is to find a platform where we could reach out and support our boys and girls. So collaborating together, talking together, meeting in this conference brings out so many questions and answers, and a lot of people have this light bulb moment where it gives them opportunity to reach out and do other things. And while thinking about that other things, you need other sisters, men, women that you need that will support you to guide you. And that's one of the reasons why we collaborate. It's one of the reasons why we go out of our comfort zone, I would say, to go to other countries to share, to learn to learn, to share, and to work together as sisters. You know, like I've just put here, collaborating over competition. There is no competition. We're all the same. We're all women, and at some point, our needs are different. So sometimes when you need, it's nice for you to be able to be met, well, for your needs to be met. And your need, if you come to me, I might not be able to meet your need, but maybe the next woman will be able to meet your needs. And if I don't have the capacity, I have to signpost you to that woman. So where do we meet those women? Where do we actually sit to meet each other, to find that platform? We need to keep having that networking event. We need to keep having that collaborative meetings, but like what we're having now, or a sit down meeting, so we could take that to the next level and shared growth. Success is not isolated. If you look at what I wrote here, through mentorship, partnership, and knowledge exchanged. When we went to Kenya, especially, we try after the event, we try to merge some younger girls with well well experienced women with a lot of wealth experience, that has wealth of experiences. We merged them with those younger ladies so that they could actually mentor them and help them so that they could grow as well. And also we also learn from those younger people as well. So for me, I try to bring them closer as well, because there is a lot to learn from each other. So, and what that does, it brings a stronger community. We have a platform called Duchess Africa on our WhatsApp platform, and we have few people, like, yeah, we have a lot of people on that platform that joined from different countries. And you will be surprised, even though sometimes it looks like there's not a lot of conversation, people go behind to chat with each other and work together and ask questions and help each other. And I remember I had a lady, and she called me one day and she was like, "Oh, Bola, I'm in Nigeria now." And I'm like, "Oh, how?" So I remember I met someone in Rwanda. Yeah. So we've been talking since, and that's how I got to Nigeria. It was from those community we built. We eventually become family, and that is what Duchess Africa is all about. And it's called collaborative. At its core, collaboration transform individual potential to collective power, aligning perfectly with the mission, which align perfectly with our mission. Is the key thing is, let's keep collaborating, let's still keep meeting each other, let's keep moving to the next level. When we started this movement, we started with Duchess International Magazine. It was a little bit um, challenging for me, in the sense that people were saying, "Oh, okay, the registration fee is much," and this, and eventually, I was like, "Okay, how can we get sponsorship? How can we eventually be funded?" And we thought, okay, we've started Duchess International Foundation, Duchess Africa Empowerment Foundation. At some point, our aim is to actually be affiliated with African Union, possibly with United Nations, and eventually see how we could get grants. When we get grants, it's easier for us to actually bring more women from different countries into that platform, and for us to sit down and build a bigger community and network within ourselves. So I think I've really talked about it as a why Duchess, what Duchess Africa represents. Yes, the main thing is, for us, we support one another. We try to uplift one another. We collaborate genuinely. So I always try to say to people, especially when you come to me, if something is not possible, I am not going to signpost you to that person. I'm not going to sit down and talk to you about things that is not possible. We're a baby. We really started in 2024, but the success story has been much. But because I don't want to keep you on this call for a long time. I thought by the time maybe the next meeting we talk about success stories, things that we've achieved within the space of that 4 years. So our next chapter for Duchess Africa is we're going to Egypt. We're going to Egypt in April, and we're hoping to see more women join us. We're hoping to expand our reach, and we're hoping to get support, funding from organization, be recognized, and take it to the next level. So I will share information of the next event on this platform. You can ask maybe after our speakers have all spoken, you can ask as much question as possible. Then we could take it from there. So thank you all for attending today's virtual event. Together we rise, and connected we thrive. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Especially Duchess has come from a very great women of Africa, and that's called home. Let's say Duchess is home.
Yeah.
Duchess is home. This is where home is. Thank, thank you so much for creating a great village for us, where all of us can. If someone whose microphone is on in this opportunity, I was supposed to introduce all our speakers, and they are great women. When I look at the history, the biography, these are splendid women that we really need. Why can't they be presidents of? There's no president of Africa, but I want them to be president in their country so that they can feel safe. When I know name is Lisa Wanyande. Lisa Wanyande, I am 24 years old at now. And unfortunately, it was not my dream to be part of a humanitarian space. I just found myself. I found myself. Yeah, I found myself. Actually, found myself in a very dangerous day. I will tell you the story someday. So from there, I said, I'm not stopping, I'm not doing anything, I'm going to go that path because God brings you things where you're supposed to be, where your chain of destiny is. So I trust God and I trust the process on where I came from. Um, so I'm a lot of things when it comes to my humanitarian spaces. I'm a president. People call me President of Africa. We lead an association called Youth Africa Symposium Forum. We are active there. It's active in 13 countries of Africa, and I lead them. I like it because I usually have to visit a few of those countries sometime when there's chances. I'm also the vice president of female students all over Kenya. I'm the vice president. Um, and also I'm a public PR leader. They call me PR. In Kenya, PR means into somebody who plan things, somebody who just say things, but that's not the way. So my name is Lisa Wanyande. I'm very grateful to be a moderator. I'll start by representing my speakers, our beautiful women, the presidents of Africa, the women who know there is nowhere to stop. We keep going and keep going and keep going. The first speaker we have today is we have Miss Yemisi, Honorable Yemisi Jenkins, MBE. Miss Yemisi Jenkins is a British Nigerian civil servant, entrepreneur, and a community leader. She's a graduate of psychology from the University of Jos, Nigeria. She has over 20 years of experience in public service. She is a national community engagement lead for Nigeria at the UK office of the Office of Immigration Enforcement and trained mental health first aider. That's very good. I would say much about it. We have a second speaker that is, oh my gosh, this is Her Excellency. Actually, I just have to call her Excellency. That is Miss Her Excellency Lisa Christopherson. She's a Kenyan Danish entrepreneur. She's an interior designer. She's an art curator, rally driver, a media personality. She's the founder. She founded Lisa Christopher Art Gallery, Sansa Interiors and Lifestyle in Nairobi. I've never seen it. I would wish to visit that place. You pin me location.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. One day it's very good. I like it. She's a pioneer in motorsport. Wow. She founded the Lioness Valley. Teach me how to drive the motor. I love it. And she's
Have to
the Kenyan first all women rally. Applause. Okay, literature combines entrepreneurship, creative, and social impact, motivating others to lead innovative across business culture. You see, women can also do business, eh? They are good in business. Okay, the next one we have the only Her Excellency, the President of Africa. Actually, I'm not the president now. She's the one because how can one woman lead an entire nation of Africa? And she has all the energy to move from one place to another, just for you, just for the woman, and also the well-being in the society of the current society we have. She's the Duchess. One thing I grew up knowing Duchess means a crown, queen. That's how I grew up. Now she's a queen of Africa. She's Honorable Her Excellency Abulaji Odinga, and she's a very visionary leader. When I first met her, I liked her. I wanted to be like her when I grew up. She's a publisher, she's a community advocate, she's an IT professional. So what we do, she knows. She knows ChatGPT too. Okay, she founded Custodian Global Consultancy, and mostly she has explained all that when I was away, and its subsidiaries including Duchess International Magazine, where it is promoting the African voices of women and empowerment across the continent, also globally. And she lives in the African community in Surrey and Success, that is ASIS and Duchess Africa. She's the first black president of the Rotary. I knew she's a president, I said it. Of Crawley. She advanced community initiative and diversity. So today on this platform, I have a very great big women. I've said this at the President of Africa. I don't know why we don't have Lisa to be the first excellency of Kenya. You should take over that seat. I want to see on ballot. I'm a Gen Z. I'll vote for you without a voter's card.
where?
Don't worry, I'm very good. I will influence many. So somebody said today we are here for the Duchess Africa Global Connect. What is the meaning of that? It's about empowering women through collaboration, virtual gathering for visionary leaders and change makers in the society. And I've said the speakers above, so I think the platform is theirs. I will start with Her Excellency Lisa, the entrepreneur, to represent, to say a few words on
about collaboration. Why is it important for us, first as human beings, to work together? It's because you don't know it all. No one knows it all. And the interesting thing is, we should, rather than seeing ourselves as competitors, we should be drawing strength from one another because that is the only way we can thrive. I am from Nigeria and I'm a Yoruba girl. I'm probably so. There's an adage, I'll say it's Yoruba and I'll try and translate it into English because it's going to be a bit watery. It says, "Agbajowo la fi n sọ̀yà." That means that, you know, when we come together, we're more effective. There's strength in numbers. That is what it means. And when you have, for those of you who have seen a broom, typical African broom, you're able to break one when you bring them out. But when you have them together as a broom, you cannot break. You have to use something to break it. You probably have to start chopping it into pieces. So that is linked to us working together, coming together, and seeing ourselves as supporters, seeing ourselves as collaborating, and actually providing that support for others. I mean, for example, I'm a career civil servant, and yes, started into business, but my strength is in civil service. If you ask me about public service or private sector, I probably will struggle.
Move forward. We exhilarate. And I'm talking as a rally driver right now. So I'm in the driving seat talking to you, okay? And my personal story, I want to share this with you. So in June 2021, I was invited by the former amazing Minister of Sports, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, to join her and the family at the last leg of WRC Safari Rally in Naivasha. And we came in and I said to Amina, where are all the women on here? So I said to her, I'm going to start Kenya's first all-women only safari rally. And Ambassador turned to me and said, we call it the Lionesses. That night, the seeds were planted. 9 months later, the Super Cub was born. And we had our inaugural rally just on the outskirts of Nairobi. And I tell you what, many men remember being in a rally car, safari rally. It's a very male dominant sport. And we're in a patriotic society. And there was 9 months later, the Super Cub was born. And we had our inaugural rally just on the outskirts of Nairobi. And I tell you what, many men remember being in a rally car, safari rally. It's a very male dominant sport. And we're in a patriotic society. And there were so many men that came to me and said, what on earth do you think that you are doing here? And I went, la, 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 I cannot hear you. Can women really do this? Was this a question I was being asked? And as I said, we already do. Every morning, you see women driving to work, you see women driving to schools, you see women going shopping.